use up those channel points to determine or predict who will win this series. Will it be this guy here at the bottom right from the team of Hot-Headed, which I don't believe I've heard before, but Hot-Headed Gaming it is. NightPhoenix. Yeah, that's like the first time I ever heard of that team name. Pretty cool. Always fun to discover new teams. But anyhow, spawning at the top left, he's our red Protoss player. He is from Platinum Heroes. It is ArT. Now, Platinum Heroes I have heard before. I mean, in the previous series we had Hate Me, who is also from Platinum Heroes. So they're a little bit more of a known team, but Hot-Headed Gaming, that is one team that I have not heard of thus far. But they do have NightPhoenix in their roster. Alright, looks like ArT is going to be able to see two gateways as well as NightPhoenix. Got a scouting probe there. Important to note where the second pylon is, because if there is no second pylon for the Protoss, then that kind of is an indicator that there is some sort of potential proxy. I mean, we do see sometimes that the Protoss will make a pylon like kind of on the edges, the side of the map, but on their side of the map. So it's kind of a fake out. But then you also do see sometimes that there's a legit proxy across the map or in the middle of the map. And of course, it's up to the players to scout them. Usually after scouting your opponent's base, you will send a probe into the sides just to scout if there are potential proxies. But since, you know, the second pylons are at the bases of the main bases of their opponent, then I think they kind of rest easy that the potential of a proxy is not high. I mean, there is still a chance, but it's less likely. Alright, nice pickup there. I believe ArT sent two of his stalkers to scout. And then NightPhoenix actually sent in the two stalkers thinking that it was only two stalkers for ArT. But then the scouting stalker came back home and kind of trapped them a little bit. So nice start here. Let's see. Two stalkers down. And ArT is going to have... Yeah, this is getting a little scary. Oh boy. Yeah, this is kind of a tough start here for NightPhoenix. Not only did he not get any probes with that Orko, but losing two stalkers, a pylon, and this pressure is still preventing him from mining off of that natural. Okay, finally with an additional two stalker warping, he will finally, you know, force ArT to retreat. But I mean, I know he took a lot of losses, I would say. All right, there we go. Some evening up with some little probe kills. Oh. Looks like Blink is on the way for both players, so gonna be a little bit of a PvP Blink Stalker kind of duke out here, which is kind of normal at this stage. What isn't normal is actually placing a proxy pylon here. Is this gonna be for some aggression? I mean, there's not a lot any more gateways. There is not like a 8 gateway kind of blink timing or a 7 gateway. It seems like he's going for the third as well pretty soon. So I guess it's just to, I mean, you do see sometimes like some random 2 adept warping in the most random time, and then you kind of catch your opponent like off guard, because you don't really expect 2 adepts to come out of the blue in this stage. Usually they happen in the early game, but sometimes you do see random 2 adepts just shading into the opponent's base, but actually going down a proxy gateway along with it. So this might just be for a faster reinforcement point for an attack, but it could just very well just be a warp-in for some adepts. But no, it looks like it is going to be in for an attack. How many stalkers is that? 15 stalkers to 14. Okay, so relatively close. With the Guardian Shield and the Shield Batteries, I think ArT should be able to hold on. Now, keep in mind, ArT is right now on 3 bases. His Dirt Nexus is up, and there is no Dirt base here for NightPhoenix. So he is going to have to make this attack count. Some additional shield batteries being warped in though. And oh my goodness, this is not a good sign for NightPhoenix. ArT is actually pushing him back right now, when theoretically, he's the one on 2 bases. She's the one that should be pushing ArT back. I feel like his gateway was also late as well. How many gates was he working off? Only 6 gateways. When you go for a 2 base push like this, I feel like you should have more than 6 gateways. So kind of a not as committed attempt. Like usually you want like 7 to 8 gateways with this kind of attack when you're just sitting on 2 base, and it's pretty much all in. Like there's not a lot of follow-up behind. There's no DT shrine. Yeah, looks like NightPhoenix will tap on out. GG's. ArT takes the victory. Okay, an interesting decision there. I could see what he was trying to go for, but when you kind of like semi-committed into an all-in kind of build, it just doesn't usually work out. Like if you're gonna commit into it, just go all out with that. Just commit into more gateways and just go for it. But unfortunately that was not the case, so looks like ArT is going to go ahead and take the 1-0 lead. We'll see if NightPhoenix can, of course, force a game number 3. Alright, so let's see here. Alright, so second map going to take place on Data C. Let me update the scoreboard here. 1 point for ArT. Alright. Without further ado, spawning here at the top right. Playing for the team of Hot-Headed Gaming. It is NightPhoenix. And spawn here at the bottom left, we got our red Protoss. at match point. Can he close it out? It is. ArT. Alright, I'm just going to swing over here to NightPhoenix's base because I want to take a second look at this logo here, which it's pretty cool. It's like a devilish fire kind of design. I like it. Now, of course, Platinum Heroes. Their logo is not too shabby themselves. Pretty cool design. Alright, similar opening by both players. 2 gateways. Now the difference is that NightPhoenix has built his 2 gateways at the ramp area of his main base. However, ArT, on the other hand, building it on the lower ground. So, of course, building it on the lower ground allows for ArT's initial units to go across the map just a tad bit earlier. So I'm kind of expecting NightPhoenix to play a bit more defensively. Maybe ArT is probably going to be the one that's sending out his stalkers to try to attack. But it looks like both players are... Actually, you know what? NightPhoenix is opening with 2 stalkers while ArT going for a stalker and sentry here. So in fact, it looks like ArT is going to play a bit more defensively. Going to actually, probably take his natural a bit quicker. And NightPhoenix is going to put on some pressure with these initial adepts and stalkers. So we'll see if ArT can get the wall off in time. But nice scouting. Just making sure there's no shenanigans out in the sides and the edges of his bases. Alright, I think he's gonna, he's gonna finally get sight on that Stargate. And luckily for him, he can see what is being built there. He sees the Orko. So he does have a head up on what is coming, which means that, there's a couple of responses he can do. He can make a shield battery at the mineral line, or he can just, park some units there to defend. Looks like he is going to go ahead and just send 3 of the stalkers to defend against the Orko, while the rest does stay back at home, or not back at home, back at the natural to defend against these pesky adepts. So yeah, ArT just dealing with this and handling this relatively well. Alright, just 1 adept coming out. Getting out alive. So yeah, not too much done all in all. Only 1 probe getting killed. Of course, those 2 adepts still presents a threat to ArT, so you gotta be careful. But yeah, looks like the game continues on as NightPhoenix gonna go ahead and get his third up. Nice delay there on ArT's third base. Alright. Ooh, actually just misses the hallucinated Phoenix there. Oh, there we go. We finally got it. He doesn't see the extra gateways that's being thrown down. So that's a little bit of a missed opportunity in terms of scouting. And oh, actually might miss these oracles as well. Luckily for him, he does have 2 stalkers and a shield battery to defend there, so don't think he's going to be able to get too much done. And oh, nice catch. Kind of unlucky for NightPhoenix. Does fly in the direction of ArT. And sometimes, you know, StarCraft 2 is a game of luck. I mean, mainly skills, of course, but there is a little bit of luck involved, you know. And that's of course one of the moments where ArT was lucky, was able to be in the line of direction of those oracles. A little bit of a back and forth there, but I mean, really, NightPhoenix was not going to be able to break through. And I think it was just mainly just to kind of fake him out. I mean, there was no like War Prism out in the map or proxy pylon, so. Oh, actually, yeah, we're gonna have to keep an eye out for those 2 adepts there, those sneaky adepts. I don't believe, okay, yeah, his shield battery not quite done yet, but 2 adepts does 1-shot probe, so. Oh wait, that's actually that's actually a cannon. I thought that was a shield battery for a second there. Alrighty, so we're gonna actually start having a little bit of deviation by both players. Both players has stuck with mainly Blink Stalkers, but looks like ArT is gonna actually go for more of a Stalker Charge Lot Archon army composition. On the other hand, NightPhoenix actually gonna stick with the Stalkers, but adding in the Disruptors. Now, the Disruptors in low number count is not that scary, so if ArT can attack before NightPhoenix gets a critical mass of disruptors, then that could bode well for him. But if he allows NightPhoenix to just sit around and build up his disruptor count, then it can get a bit troublesome for him later down the road when they engage one another. Alright, looks like ArT is preparing for an attack. NightPhoenix trying to slow down this push with his disruptors and his stasis ward. He wants to buy enough time for that +2 weapons. That +2 weapons is going to beef his army up a bit better for him, so he can better handle this attack. And here we go. Will these disruptor doesn't really connect. He adds another one. Does get a good chunk of a charge lot in the front, but there's just still so much here on the ground for ArT. 2 Immortals at the backside just dealing heavy firepower, as well as those Archons just soaking in so much damage. And a great start to this fight for ArT. Now the issue is that he was not able to snipe out any of those disruptors, so this disruptor numbers still rises for NightPhoenix. And oh, a really Ballsy play there by NightPhoenix, blinking right straight on top of the army. A little decent connection there by one of the Purification Novas will force ArT to be to back out. Alright, looks like NightPhoenix is starting to chase ArT back. Some great micro coming out of both of these players. +2 is about to be finished for ArT. That should even up the upgrade lead. But again, with the disruptors, it's like you really gotta make sure you dodge them. But if you can dodge them, then the rest of your charge lot and your mortals and your stalkers can deal some nice damage onto those blue stalkers there. And here we go, another pushback here from ArT. Oh, actually gonna have a stasis. Oh, NightPhoenix is trying to camouflage that stasis a little bit. Oh, actually does get activated by a couple of these charge lot at the front. In the meantime, a charge lot run by Hit Squad into the 6 o'clock base. The shield battery overcharge does buy a little bit more time for these cannons. But ArT has no desire to defend that and recall his entire army. He is just going for the kill. And oh, a huge win there by NightPhoenix to get the stasis on a clumped up group of stalkers. And what is going on in this fight? Everything is just so much going on. More stalker reinforcement. Only one disruptor left though, and these stalkers is going to get on stasis. But without the reinforcements, without the warp prism to dare to warp in, I think NightPhoenix should be able to maybe by the skin of his teeth defend against. Oh, actually, ArT he's gonna bring in 2 more disruptors. During the fight, he was transitioning into disruptors, and never mind. I think ArT might actually get this Nexus, which is gonna be so sad for NightPhoenix, because that 4th base was actually quite late compared to ArT. Like ArT has been pretty much on 4 bases for quite a long time, and now with the Warp Prism reinforcement, the additional reinforcements, yeah, it looks like ArT is still starting to slowly but surely snowball. You can see the supply just inching more and more in favor of ArT. Just little by little, he's kind of growing his supply. Nice little dodge there, away from the Purification Nova. And it looks like the last disruptors of NightPhoenix gets picked off. ArT with a quick 2-0